Hi, it's Sharyn here. And I notice we have some viewers joining us, so just forgive me while I look at sharing my screen. Voila, we have we have a share screen, so that's a good start. So let's focus today, and let's get the most benefit from our time. Turn everything off, silence the phone, close the door, put the cats out the door, which I haven't. Mine's sitting beside me. But remember, you deserve this time for yourself. Now, we're going to have a bonus. I don't know whether I've mentioned this to you. Some of you might know about this. I'm giving you a copy of The Science of Getting Rich. It is available freely on the internet because it's a very amazing book and it's been a lot of my inspiration, but I wanted to make sure you had your copy. So you will be getting a copy of The Science of Getting Rich for being here today and for staying to the end. Now, you're in the right place. You're ambitious because you're here. You want to be successful. You want to bring more money into your life. Do you feel it's not happening fast enough? Do you feel sometimes and a bit frustrated? I think we all feel like that sometimes, but let's minimize the times we do. Does time seem to run away from you? Now, that is a real hassle, I reckon. It goes so fast. It's hard to see a clear path ahead sometimes, and real wealth may seem like a long way away, but it's not. I can tell you it's not. Just the way the year can race away, it can go that fast that one minute you're saying, I want to have more money in my life, and the next minute, bang. Because you know how to do it, it happens. It's so much fun. Now, you want to feel wealthy, but feeling wealthy is so many things. It's also feeling proud and feeling happy. You need to be proud of what you're doing, don't you? I mean, none of us want to do something we're not proud of. It's not easy. It is hard work, but I know that you're prepared to put the work in. I know you want to make your life great and you want to have more than just a financial struggle. You want more money for your family and to help others. And very importantly, money can sometimes give you time. The most important thing, you can always get more money, but you can't get more time, can you? So what you just need is a guide, a step-by-step plan, and that's what we're looking at today. So you're in the right place. Now, a brief background of me. I left school at 15. I came from a very average sort of nice family, but I had a few boring and ordinary jobs. So I started with $1,200, which I borrowed. And in 3 years, only 3 years, I became a successful property developer and later a construction contractor. Now, I developed and built many great projects and my wealth grew well into the millions as I grew in knowledge and experience. I'm not skirting about that, but of course, when you're a property developer, you do know your net worth. So when you apply for finance loans, you have to have a net worth so they can have security. Now, my initial success was initiated by a mentor. His name was Keith Wong, and he later became a business partner for a while. And it was amazing. He just showed me so much. So 19 years later, the world had a recession, and I suffered a major financial crash. It was horrible. It was just dreadful. So I know what it's like to be literally down and out. I was down, I wasn't out. But I fought back. I fought back from -0 to a new life of success, creating more wealth. But at this time, I wanted to do it differently. I wanted to have a more personally satisfying life. I was so stressed out when I had the property development company. So having a more personally satisfying life to me is part of what it is to be wealthy. And in my second phase of success, I had the opportunity of working with very many wealthy people as a property development and construction consultant. So that was a great experience and it advanced my knowledge of money and of being wealthy. So I'm thankful for all those people, and what I really want to do now is give back. I've had an amazing life. It's been a long life so far, but it's been wonderful. And I really owe it to you to give the best of my knowledge and experiences. Success cannot be really taught unless you have knowledge to draw from. So I discovered my second round of success, and I found that there were these 4 very important things, and I say this very seriously. you know, you have to love yourself. That's number one. You really, to have that confidence is so critical. You have to love what you do because, you know, obviously you'll be more successful at it. You have to love the people you live with, really. I mean, absolutely. The people you play with, but also the people you work with. You have to love your whole of life, not just a section of it, but every little bit of your life must be amazing. These are essential life strategies for success and wealth, but you notice they're lifestyle strategies. Your lifestyle is just as important as anything else in your life for building wealth. You can't build wealth unless you have that foundation of an amazing lifestyle so that everything you're doing becomes part of that journey. Happiness brings success, success brings wealth. So I'm just going to skim through these slides, but I want you to know that if I could do this, 15-year-old when I left school, didn't have much education, and I worked as a secretary for a while, and I think I was about 21, 22 when I started this development company. So these are just some of the buildings that, as I say, I'm just going to flick through them. As I learnt more about the developments, I obviously did more projects. And I just wanted to talk about the gentleman who got me going on this and who started me understanding how to develop these strategies, because I could watch what he did. His name was Keith Wong, and when I met him, I was a girl working in his office. He was the CEO. He had at that stage, he was a very wealthy man, but he also had a number of businesses. And what really amazed me, he had a nightclub, he had importing businesses, he had exporting businesses, he had retail stores, he had a very big toy wholesaling company. In fact, 35 companies at one stage, I found out. Checkers was actually a nightclub, and it was an international nightclub, and Checkers taught me a lot. Meeting and greeting some of the artists at Checkers was really an experience for me to see how some of these very rich and famous people were so unhappy, so dreadfully unhappy. And I realized that, you know, life is so much more than just money. So what we have to do is turn money into a huge advantage for us. So you have to get a start. And there was a building, one of my very early buildings, and that was it coming out of the ground on the first floor, and that's it when all the trees grew around it years later. My first project I lost 200,000 on, so how was that for getting a start? But it just shows you, because I had Keith Wong guiding me, how to see even a huge loss like that, how to see it as an opportunity, and we'll be talking about that later, opportunities. Another couple of projects there that I did, and of course I got accolades. I was one of the women in this book, Know How 36 Women, Australian Women Reveal Their Career Success Secrets. All that success, and then what happened? Crash. It hit hard. It hit really hard. I lost everything. I lost my home. I lost everything. But one thing I kept, and it's what I worked for. A bank wanted me to do something dishonest, and the bank also wanted me to do something that meant that I was going to lose my own integrity, and I wouldn't do that. I didn't care about the money. The money could go because I knew I could always build that back again. But what I couldn't do, I couldn't get that back, my integrity, if I lost it. And I couldn't live with myself in those circumstances. So I sort of saw that in a way I was successful in having a financial crash because I did it on my terms. And I did it knowing that I was making the decisions. And that's important as we go through life. We have to be calling the shots on our own life. I had a job to go to, and if Kim's on this call today, it was Kim, who's a wonderful young lady with whom I worked, and Kim had mentioned to me she saw a job in the paper. It was so sweet, and actually I went to that job when I lost everything. As I'd done a law qualification, I went as a paralegal to get some experience in law. But there was one thing that happened, you know, that really took me down. I was sitting in that lovely yacht squadron clubhouse with my brother having lunch, and it's very unusual for my brother to invite me to lunch. And he said to me at the time, in fact, it was just before the entree, and he said to me, "It must be horrible to know that you're a total failure." And I really was shocked. And I started to cry. I mean, not cry, but I could feel the tears just welling up and one tear sliding down. And I saw it drop into the entree just as it was served. But it was I really had to question at that stage, what I was doing. I thought, gee, and that's where I thought, well, I built up that success when I had the guidance from Keith Wong. And Keith had left Australia at that stage, so I couldn't go and ask him how to do it again. I thought, well, I've got to study that. I've got to study, what did he teach me? How can I do it again? So I became obsessed with that. I was running around doing all the seminars that I could do. I made this promise to myself, and maybe these promises will be right for you, or vary them, have different ones. But what are your promises that you make to yourself? I said to myself, I will have all the success that I choose to have. I choose to have, right? Not just any old success, but success that I choose to have. I will be financially free. So not rich, not lots of money, but financially free, making a tidy sum, more than enough money I can use and enjoy. So you need enough money that you can use and enjoy, and more. And this time I decided I wanted to have my ideal lifestyle to go with my success and wealth. Lifestyle freedom with lifestyle happiness. And that's what I worked on. And there were two men. So I had Keith in the beginning, and then I had two more men. And those two men were these two fellows. One was Wallace D. Wattles. And Wallace D. Wattles wrote a book in 1910 called The Science of Getting Rich. And if you stay with me on this call, you will be getting a copy of that. And I also discovered Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins, 5 seminars later, walking on burning coals many times. I just loved it. And I was lucky enough to have a personal one-on-one with Tony. And it's an interesting story how I managed to do that, which I won't tell you about now due to time constraints, but I have written a book about it. My book title is What's Stopping You? And in the book, I give Tony's 5-step process and the story about how I came to meet him personally and have a one-on-one with him. And I've learned so much from Tony. He's just and I even had a hug. So my new life and my new career started taking off. I decided to go back into property and started working as a consultant with a number of different corporations, a number of different people. I had to start from scratch and build a business and get out there and find the people that wanted to give me a consulting role. And this was one building I worked on, which was very exciting, which was the Australian Federal Police Building. So you see how opportunities, the reason I'm showing you this is, Keith had taught me how to look at opportunities, how to see them, how to see opportunities that other people wouldn't pick up, which is what we'll cover in the 7 steps as well. But you can see how I've never done a subdivision. I knew nothing about subdivisions really. The opportunity came and I learned as I did it, and it was great fun. It was very successful. Okay, so this became my new obsession. I became obsessed with being happy and having a lifestyle of my choice. It was just fantastic. I did everything I wanted to do for the next so many years, whatever it was, including working for the Australian government and wandering around my state, building social housing, which was a great joy. But that was then. Now I revel in passing my experiences and knowledge on to many, many others. And now to you. And I just love that too. That's wonderful. So let's start on the strategies. And let me just have a little sip of water here. And we're going well. We're not having any technical glitches. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Number 1, don't ruin your chance of success before you get started. What do I mean by that? You have to know your true vision. You have to know it for all areas of your life. Your vision should be an all-round vision for you. Carl Jung says, your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. I love that. So there's your heart. Look inside your heart. What do you really want? And beware. Sometimes it's not what you think you want. You know, sometimes we think we want certain things because we've grown up in a family that wants those things, or we work with people that want those things. And so many people become so confused. Sit quietly by yourself and really look around and really think, in particularly, if your life is not really perfect now, look at what's not perfect about it and look at how it could be perfect. Because when you see this vision with your heart, that's how it then starts to happen. Don't do what you think you should do. Don't do what you think you should want. Don't worry about other people. And the other thing is, you've got to update your vision regularly. You can't have a vision, it won't stay the same from one year to the next, sometimes not from 1 month to the next. And sometimes, you know, I will think to myself, goodness gracious, that's what I thought yesterday. No, that's not quite right. So really, a vision is something that adapts. It adapts to every day as you move on. So just a little thing for you to think about. There's your foundation and there's your vision. You need a strong foundation for everything you do. That's a builder talking. Strong foundation is fundamental before you build anything, including your success. And you have 2 options in the design of your success foundations. Option 1 is this. You know exactly what you want. You can see it. You know the tangible outcome you're going to get. And remember that word outcome. It's one of the most important words in our life, going for the outcome. Also, what the financial outcome will be. So you know exactly what you want. You've got everything right. You've got everything in your head. Everything's in your heart. But it's not happening. You know, I know what I want, but it's not happening. If that happens to you, look at your values. Now, we can't go into a lot of detail on values here, but for example, I have a high level of freedom in my values. Therefore, it wouldn't matter how much I wanted to work in a large corporation and rise the ranks and become important, because that would take away my freedom. I'm better in my own business or in a business with people working as a consultant, because I still have that freedom. So look at your values. Now, your value, you could have a value of security, which would be sort of the other side to the coin of my freedom. No values are right or wrong, I might add, either. Values are always right, but you've got to know your values and really understand that. Whoops, didn't move on. There we go. Option 2. So we know option 1. Now look at option 2. You have no definite vision. You're thinking to yourself, but I don't know what I want. So you have no definite vision, but you know there's something out there. You know there's something waiting for you. You see, that's your heart talking to you. You have strong ambition to achieve a successful outcome. You see ahead. So the ambition's there, but you just don't have the vision. Again, look at your values, because your values will help you know where to start. So a few of the values that I see influencing people: values of adventure, values of safety. Again, 2 opposite sides of the coin. So, life strategy for success number 1, these are the actions you can take. Know your vision, see it vividly every day. Your foundation is solid and aligned with your values. So your foundation and your values, they fit together. You build your success with clear purpose. Hear your heart sing with anticipation. Sometimes a good way to know what your purpose is, when you wake up in the morning, something will flash into your head. You'll think, what's my purpose? What's my purpose for life? What's my purpose for today? Start with this day. So the question you will ask every day, sometimes first thing in the morning, and you'll also ask of everything you plan or you start to do, how does this get me closer to achieving my vision? Strategy number 2, see your life today and make it the best it can be. Your success starts from where you are now and from what you do today. Very good to have big plans for the future, and that we did in strategy 1, but now come back down to earth and look at today. And Alexander Graham Bell, amazing man. When one door closes, another door opens. But we often look so long and so regretfully upon the closed doors that we do not see the ones which are open for us. Words of wisdom, huh? And there's a slightly open door. See it is and make it better. Don't start with a dream. So many people dream, oh, I'm going to do this, going to do that. Ah, forget it, forget it, forget it. Start where you are now. Look at where you are now. Look at the assets you've got. What sort of person are you? Who do you get on with? Your assets are all around you. You've got assets everywhere. Your suburb, where you live, there are always assets. When I was flat broke, like when I say flat broke, minus $5 million or something, I might add. So when I was in that situation, I didn't have a home. I found a place to rent. And it was a house that was going to be demolished because it was dirt cheap. And I put myself in a room at the back with my cats, and I leased the actual house. So I had income coming from that, and I got a job. So because I saw the assets around me, that house had a beautiful garden, and I spent a lot of time in the garden. I had more time, and when I was running my own business, I didn't have much time for myself. I had more time for myself. So you see what I mean? They're the assets you've got. Everything around you has a side of it that could be an asset for you. May not be, but it could be. Too many people dwell on the belief that the job they have now is a job they don't enjoy and can't wait to leave. Wrong, wrong, wrong. The job you have now is the job you have now. Enjoy it. There will be parts about it you won't enjoy. You can have the best job in the world and there'll be parts you don't enjoy, but enjoy it. Make sure you enjoy the job you have now. There will be things about it that you can find. If this is you, stop this thinking anyway, because it is so dangerous. Because whenever you don't feel you enjoy something, you close the doors. You see that little door opening just a little bit, there might be just something there, even that you don't like, but something. If you say, well, I'm going to like it, you'll see an opportunity. I've just had it happen so many times. I'm sure you've heard work smart, not hard. Consider what you can do to shine in your current job, career, or business. And of course, I'm not going to go through this, but this is just a little bit from the Science of Getting Rich. You'll be able to read this later. And here's a quick analysis, a SWOT analysis. What's your life like now? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. I'm sure you've seen this many times before, but do one on your life. Enjoy the game. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, life is a game. It really is a game. Have fun with it. It's state of mind for wealth. That's how wealthy people see it. Wealthy people don't see money as money. They don't see it the same way. They really do see it as a challenge and a game, a challenging game. So how much do you enjoy your way of playing the game? Every morning when you get out of bed, right? So state of mind for wealth. Now, biggie, build self-confidence. If you haven't got it already, it's too easy. You heard those words, fake it till you make it. You can build self-confidence. I've worked with some very, very shy people, and they're so lovely and so kind, but it's not helping them because they don't have the confidence. And we've changed that around just by knowing yourself. Sometimes you can do it by acting a part. But anyway, that's another story. But that's something I go into with clients that I have, and how to act the self-confidence, and before they know, it happens naturally. And this is what Henry Ford said. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. Enjoy your failures. I love them. I love them. I call them failures. I say, oh, look at that. I failed. Well, what did I learn from that? What was the good side of it? What opportunities coming out of that failure? State of mind, face your fears. I walked on burning coals many times. Tony Robbins, wonderful experience. And when you think about it, what is there to fear? Nothing, because you're in this game of life. You're in the game and you can see a door over there. You see it? And it's open. It's not open very far, but it's open. There's light shining through. Yeah, let's go for it. State of mind for wealth. Live by the 5F formula. Make it fun. Fun, family, fitness, finances, and freedom. They're my 5Fs. And I find that strategy is another one that works so well for people. Make every day a winner by saying every morning, this is your action, right? Today I will see at least one door open to empower my vision and bring it closer for success. Now, number 3, secret sauce. The secret sauce to success and wealth. Firstly, people who experience more positivity in their lives grow psychologically. They become more optimistic, more resilient, more open, more accepting, and more driven by purpose. Barbara Fredrickson. I have read a lot of her books. She is absolutely amazing. She is a psychologist that specializes in how positivity affects our lives, our total lives, not only our psychology, but how then that moves forward to affect our whole life. So you've got to get in shape for success. Negativity is always going to be there, but you've got to control it. You know, there's two sides to every coin. If you're going to be positive, you're also going to have negativity. So don't let anyone tell you, you know, you can't have any negativity. That's rubbish. But you do have to be aware of it and you have to control it. It's when it rules, that's when there are problems. Negativity can also make you quite ill, which can be very debilitating. And it's something that sometimes a little bit of negativity, it's small, but it can grow, and you've got to be really, really careful of negativity. I can find myself sometimes becoming I look for the opposites instead of look for the similarities, and that's a sign of negativity. So just look for it in your life, like I know that's one of mine. Positivity will transform your happiness, your success, your wealth, your life. Now, so what's the secret sauce? The secret sauce is being happy. Many people say that's ridiculous, but science has proven that happier people are more successful people. And I can tell you that the people that I've worked with that are excited about life, growing their wealth, growing their success, they're very happy. The happiness doesn't come from the money either. You know, I've seen people that have been very wealthy lose their money and they're still happy. So it's interesting, isn't it? The happiness is there. You look at someone like Bill Gates, a very happy man. And Warren Buffett, he's just smiling all the time. I just love that guy. So there's no other way to live. So work on your happiness first, and success and wealth can sometimes naturally flow. You get positive, enlist the help of happiness, and that works so well for success. I know it sounds a little bit airy-fairy, but really does work. And don't stop at mental fitness. Work on physical fitness as well. And mental fitness and physical fitness also go together. We'll talk a little later about the chemicals that the brain releases. Science is just learning so much about how our brain operates. So get physically fit, get mentally fit. So your action steps for step 3. Be aware of your thoughts and ensure positive thoughts outnumber negative thoughts, no less than in every day 3 to 1. Check the emotions you experience. Strategize your life to be happy and healthy. And what will you ask yourself? What will I do this week to be more positive mentally, maintain fitness physically, and just purely have fun? Yes. Number 4, seeing opportunities for success and wealth could not be easier. It's both simple wisdom and a matter of science. So we're back to our friend Wallace. Wallace said, man can form things in his own thoughts, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance, can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. Bit deep, huh? So we'll go to a light one. Richard Branson, opportunities are like buses. There's always another one coming. Oh, isn't that wonderful? And that is so true. You don't know how true that is. So is it science or simplicity? Let's take simplicity. My mate, Keith Wong. Okay, Keith had this wonderful analogy that he taught me back when I was in my early 20s about the passing parade. I would get upset. There'd be an opportunity, something had happened to it. And he would say, it's all right, it's just the passing parade. And he saw it this way. There is a passing parade all the time of opportunities coming to you. They're there, they're coming. They're on the way, they're past there, and one's right in front of you. Don't worry. If you miss one, there's another one on the way. You don't even have to worry or think about it. When you see an opportunity, though, you don't run after it. You pick it up, you have a look at it, you study it, you wonder whether it's the right one. And if it's not, you put it back. And guess what? Someone else will take it up and it'll be right for them, but it may not have been right for you. So I've got a whole thing on opportunities and how you deal with opportunities. Now, the science, brain wiring for success. Our thoughts bring our future, and how does this happen? Reticular activating system. Now, Wattles had no way of knowing about this. This man was just incredible. But we have inside our brain, and I don't know whether you've heard about it. If you've been working with me for a while, you may have. But the reticular activating system is a little thing in our brain, and it's a bit of brain matter. And it's amazing. If I say to you, I'm sure you've heard this, if I say to you, don't think about green, what happens? You think about green all the time. So the reticular activating system is trying to help you. It's trying to help you see opportunities. It's trying to help you right through your life to get you the things that you want. It's hard to go into too much detail about this here, because it's sort of very a little bit technical. Just be aware that the reticular activating system is there and that it is helping you. It's helping you, and that means that you are creating your future. You do this through your thoughts, your actions, your feelings, your beliefs, your values, your goals and dreams. And that's because of your reticular activating system. That's it, actually. There's a little diagram of the RAS, because you see your future goals and dreams are also mediated by your RAS. Your RAS, it can be dangerous, because if you say, don't think of the colour green, what do? You think about the colour green. So be very careful of using any negative thoughts or any negative speech, because that's why negative people can get so sad. So you can see how your RAS is there to help you. Well, it doesn't even only help you grab opportunities. It helps you firstly to see opportunities. It helps you to take them. It helps you to forward with those opportunities. The opportunity cycle is the most important thing for any success, and probably for building wealth. Because if you don't get opportunities, some people say, oh, I never get an opportunity. Well, it's wrong. They just don't see them. So that's why you've got to see them. And you will if you follow this process. So every night before you go to bed, review the day and ask the question, what was the best opportunity that came out of today that tomorrow I should further consider? And, you know, I should change that, because instead of saying what was the best opportunity that came out of today, it's better to say probably what's the best thing that came out of today. Don't see it as an opportunity. That might throw you a bit. See it as what happened today. What was the best thing that happened today? Number 5, having goals can actually damage your chances for success and wealth. Yes, definitely they can. Tony Robbins. It's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. Your moments of decision. Forget goals, make decisions. I mean, a New Year's resolution is a goal. How many people succeed? How many times? I don't think I've ever succeeded at one goal. I've never seen anyone succeed with a goal, but I do see them succeed when they make a decision. And that's because decisions are made in the present. Decisions are seen as being, no, positive, set in stone, like, yes, I've made a decision. Decisions make most people feel more accountable. No one likes to say, oh, I made that decision and I didn't do it. Decisions are more likely to lead to actions. Decisions get success, goals rarely do. And of course, there's a process for making decisions. And we have a decision-making process that I thought I would just give you here. It's helped me so much. And I've got there's no such thing as failure. Because whatever decision you make, if it doesn't work out, it will lead to some different direction. So it's not a failure, it's just a leading to a different direction. And Albert Einstein has said, failure doesn't mean you are a failure. It just means you have not succeeded yet. Love it. Celebrate every step you take, regardless of the outcome. Even if you have one of those failures, you say, yay, yippee, that was really good. Now I've learned that. So you'll take action on this. We've got some action steps that we need to take for step 5 for this strategy. These are the steps you're going to take. So you think, what am I unsure of? Why am I unsure of this? What decision can I make today that will move me forward? What is an alternative if this decision does not achieve what I want it to? That's what I call my escape route. For every decision, it's really good to have a really good escape route. It just protects you. You have to protect yourself sometimes, all the time. So, strategy number 6. Giving value is what will make you rich. So there you go. There's the answer to getting rich. Give value. But what that value is may not be what you think. Henry Ford. The man who will use his skill and constructive imagination to see how much he can give for $1 instead of how little he can give for $1 is bound to succeed. So true. State of mind. See, it's another positive thought. So give to every man more than you take from him. That's actually from the Science of Getting Rich. The value equation for wealth. Now, look, sometimes people think, oh, but if you give more value, you're going to have to work harder. It's not the case. It's not the case. Value is not a matter of working harder. Value is a matter of using your head. Say you're working for a boss, and if you work really hard and do very well at what you're doing, that may not be what the boss wants. He might want something else. He might want you to support him in him working hard. Or for everything you're doing, look for what either your market wants. If you're in a business, you say, what does my market want? What do my customers want? What do they really want? And they probably don't just want you to work hard. They might want you to turn up on time or something entirely different. So you're going to read this later. It's very important that you really learn to all the time think, well, what is the value in what I'm doing? What is the value to me? What is the value to someone else? The value equation for wealth. The limitation on our financial success is never our job. It's our creativity, our focus, and our contribution. So think about that. It's very valuable. And here's the proof. Warren Buffett. Yeah, I like him. Look, he's such a happy fellow. Warren Buffett is famous for saying that the most powerful investment he ever made in his life, and that anyone can make, is his investment in himself. He talks about investing in personal development books and in educating himself, and how a Dale Carnegie course completely changed his life. Yep, well, I think that's happened to a lot of us, Warren. It certainly happened to me. Keith Wong changed my life. Tony Robbins changed my life. So many people. Every day we're learning from someone else. So your action step, know you are creative. Don't say you're not. Did I hear someone out there say, oh, I'm not creative? Everyone's creative, I can tell you. I thought I wasn't, but I found some amazing ways to be creative since I've been starting this internet work. I tell you, doing things I never thought I'd be able to do. Isn't that right, Karina? Knowing you can focus. We can all focus, even us poor souls that have ADD. I've got to work so hard to focus, and I have my meditation things, and I've got things that I do that get me into a focus mode. Now, you know you want to contribute. Absolute paramount to success and wealth. What you don't know, others have learned before, and you can learn now. So you learn from others. See, when I started to be a developer, I didn't have a clue what a developer did. But what I did do, I did go out and study other people who were good developers, and then I learned that they did, and I learned the good ones from the bad ones, and then I became one, and I hope I became a very good one. Know who pays you, know your marketplace, and ask this question: what can I do to be more creative, more focused, and contribute huge value to the people who want and can use this value and can afford and will be happy to pay for the value they receive. See, if you want to be rich, it's no good giving value to people that don't appreciate it or won't pay for it, because you'll never get rich on that. You might still do it. You might think they need it, but you won't be rich on that. Whew, we're going well. Number 7, oh, the most important, the nicest too. Lifestyle happiness creates success. Wealth creates lifestyle freedom. Well, Albert Schweitzer, wonderful, wonderful man. You wouldn't think, would you, that he would be thinking about success? Now, that's something that I really want you to think about. A lot of people just don't think about being successful. They just don't have it in their radar. And it's sad, you see, because even Albert Schweitzer, he wanted to be successful at what he did, and it was more important that he be successful in what he did than probably any one of our successes. Okay, success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. That's what I said before. Happiness comes before success. So what is success anyway if you're not happy? There's the balance. You can get more money, but you can't get more time. So most consider time is more valuable than money. You can have all the success you want, but you also want happiness with this success. So if you're going to be wealthy, you also want time with it. You want that wealth to give you time. And if you want to be successful, you want it with happiness. Success without happiness, no fun at all. That is sort of, in essence, my ideal life. What's yours? Is yours similar? Your ideal life. We all have different ideal lives, so it's not something we can talk about. But in this last success strategy, you know, we started off with knowing your vision, and that sort of ties back to this last strategy. Your vision should also be your ideal life, or you should have a vision for an ideal life. What is the ideal life for you? You know, if you know what it is, it'll come to you a hell of a lot quicker than if you don't. And in fact, if you don't know what it is, it'll probably never come at all. So therefore, you must really know what your ideal life is. And it doesn't just come to you. You have to decide to create it. You have to design it. You have to do it. You have to work on it every day, getting closer and closer. I don't think I'll probably ever get my ideal life, but every day it's sort of ideal, and it gets a little bit closer all the time. So happiness lifestyle formula I mentioned before gives us more time for success, the 5F formula: fun, family, fitness, finances, freedom. happiness lifestyle. And this is the ultimate balance for productivity. And that's why it's important for success. You see what you do. If you're going to be, say, for example, me doing this webinar today, I've made it fun. I've enjoyed the whole process. It's also given me a sense of freedom to be here talking to you today. Hi, Kim. When I saw Kim join the list of attendees, I thought, oh, that's good. I've got family there, because I haven't seen Kim for a long time, but I do consider Kim like family. And also, I'm hoping that Deborah might be there too. Deborah's my family in the USA. So, Deb, I hope you're there too. And maybe Albert, because Albert sort of feels like family. Albert's in South Carolina, Deborah's in Oklahoma. So, you know, these are people that I've met through this internet business, and I sort of feel like they're family. This sitting here doing this webinar is not giving me much fitness, I must admit. It's not giving me fitness. But when I finish this webinar, I will go to the gym, I promise. So you see what I mean? Just involve as many of those things as you can in everything you do. So celebrate success. Celebrate wealth. Celebrate your happiness. Yep, celebrations are great things. Now, this is not for this webinar. It's something that you'll get if you're here till the end. That these are the action steps, and it just gives you those concise sort of steps one by one. So it's your time. What are you going to say? Why did you come today? You want to reach your full potential, I'm sure. And you want to be well paid for it. And so you should. Money's important. As well, though, you want to live a life that matters. Yep, you sure want happiness along with being successful. They're important. They go together. We know that now. There's so much to do. So you do want to manage your time better. Yep, time. We've talked about time. You know you're capable of more, but it feels like time is running out. Stop that feeling. You've got tons of time. You've got all the time you want. Think about every minute. Sometimes you feel like you'd just like to be told what to do to see real results in your life, getting you closer to your vision. We all feel that way. We all feel that way. It's really important. For everything in life, we need a strategy. We get up in the morning, we have a process. Get up, go to the loo, clean teeth, I don't know, have breakfast, feed the cats. All that comes before anything. But you know what I mean. You have a strategy. It's so much easier to get up in the morning and not have to think, well, what will I do? We have a strategy for the things we normally do. You need a strategy for everything you do, even for your success, even for your happiness. You don't just get happy, you need a strategy for happiness. And I have a program I want to tell you about, the Certain Way to Wealth program. What do I need to do to bring success and wealth into my life? That's what I used to say. Oh, I'm so glad I know the way now. So you've got some choices. These same choices apply almost everything we do. You can keep the status quo and go on as you are. Now, number two, you can forget the whole thing. You might be thinking it's all too hard. I'll just be mediocre. I already have enough success in money in my life. Now, the third choice is you can join me, living with success and growing wealth. And I'm biased. I know I'm biased. I love being where I am now. I'm really excited about things that are happening on the internet, and it's just amazing. The opportunities for every business, for every person, the opportunities with what's being developed now is incredible. That's my new program, Happiness, Success and Wealth, in that order, the Certain Way to Wealth program. It was actually named from one of the chapter or two chapters of Wattles' book. And of course, the title of the book is The Science of Getting Rich. Thinking in the certain way and acting in the certain way, it's so important. Now, the Certain Way to Wealth program, it's the absolutely fastest way to get massive results in your life. And I think that's because I've sort of done it. While you enjoy personal happiness and create your ideal lifestyle. Now, in the program, it has 3 powerful training areas. The first one, a series of 8 modules, and it's video training, and they're inspired by the Science of Getting Rich. And they clearly set out a path for success and wealth. I call them the foundation modules because you have to have a solid foundation for everything you do. There is also a series of 4 online workshops which will be live. They will focus on things like productivity, business and lifestyle strategies for wealth. It's built around wealth. We all know happiness, wealth, success all goes together. And there would be live Q&As. We'll do it live. You can ask all the questions you've been wanting to ask someone who's already built up wealth through career, business and corporate life. So the 8 foundation modules in all, 16 training videos are there. They're set up right now. You could get access to them today. You watch the video. There are action steps that you follow on the action plan sheets, the full transcripts of each video. So I don't know about you, sometimes I prefer to read things, but I think it's good to have both. There is also a members only private group where we can discuss daily what's in the foundation modules, what's in the program, how you're going, what you need help with, just everything. I'm in a lot of Facebook groups with some of the online training programs that I do, and they're wonderful because you can actually go in and say, is anyone else having trouble with this? Or you can go in and say, hey, wow, guess what? And people go, wow, and celebrate with you. So it's nice. Plus, there's, as I mentioned before, the workshops. Now, I'm doing something as a one-time bonus only for people that buy through this webinar, and that is I'm giving 2 months personal mentoring support through Skype and or email, depending upon what people prefer, or both if they like both. Skype, it's easy to get on and have a quick call wherever you are in the world and say, hey Sharyn, I've seen this opportunity, what do you think about it? You've got someone to talk to and saying, let's work through it together. What can we apply? What process can we apply to look at this opportunity to see whether it's going to work for you? What's your escape route? Just working through any of that. So this is how I see it. Here we work together. I personally guide you as you take your success steps through your path, keeping your spirit moving, very important, and your opportunities flowing to achieve the outcomes you have decided that you want to live your ideal life. Love to work with you through that. I have to limit that to the first 10 people to claim their place in the course, because I want to be fair to the people that really want to get the best benefit out of it. And once those people are off and running and on their way and they're successful and their wealth is coming to them and they can see they're in the right track, well, then I can take on more people. Now I've got a fast action bonus, and that's a special workshop. A number of people have talked to me about starting. They'd like to start a business, but they don't really know where to start. Or they're running a business and it's not working for them. They're paying themselves to have a job, and a lot of people, it's just not working out for them. Look, businesses will work out. It's just a matter of doing it. I've had a property development company turning over 35 million a year that when I first started it, I didn't even know what a property developer was. I then became a builder. I didn't have a clue when I first started. In fact, I was the first trade licensed woman builder in Australia. There's so many things you can do. Working as a consultant with businesses was very interesting for me, because I also saw in these successful businesses how they ran their businesses. I saw a few unsuccessful ones too. So this is what you'll create if you join me in this program. You'll create the mindset with your right to be rich. Very important. You have to know that you have this right to be rich, and it's got to be deep right inside your brain so that you've got the direction set. You will build self-confidence and self-belief, critical. You'll build and implement the value equation, also critical to do. And you'll develop the power to see opportunities, decide on the right ones, and take action with determination for the right outcome. Plus, using the escape clause for overcoming fears so that you're unstoppable. And of course, everyone is different, so different people will need me to come with them in a different direction. All of these modules are putting a foundation in place, but module 1 is really putting your belief of your right to be rich in place for the rest of the modules. Very important. In module 2, if you do things in a certain way, you cannot fail to get rich. So in this module, we go through the process that Wallace Wattles has given us in the book, and we enhance upon that for today. In module 3, you'll start to see opportunities. You'll start to see opportunities opening up, and you'll start to see you've got to be careful. You've got to get the right opportunities. So the more opportunities that come to you, the easier it is to choose one. You don't want just one opportunity. You want to have a lot of opportunities all coming together so you can make a selection. This module talks about how to do that. Now, module 4, yes, so you'll get a background here on the science of getting rich, the science of money, the energy that surrounds us, about how the effect of that energy affects our whole being, our mind. We have to have the right mindset, whatever it is. If you're going to be a failure, you're not going to be a failure unless you have the right mindset to be a failure. So you've got to make sure that whatever that is, you're not doing it, and that you are doing all the right things to be a success. Module 5 is increasing and growing, and how it's important that you grow within your own experience. This is where the value equation comes up, and this is where we talk about the natural side of being rich and the natural part of wealth. If you know how to do this, you'll know how to use that value equation. We've talked before about creativity and creating money. And we talked before about the importance of creativity, and I said to you that I used to say I wasn't at all creative, and I've had to learn how to be. This chapter takes us into that realm where we talk about creativity and how we can develop that side of our. It's not only a brain thing; it's also a self-confidence and also a physical thing as well. Module 7, now gratitude. Okay, we hear about gratitude all the time, right? But it is absolutely critical. We have to show gratitude to the universe, to our life, to everything that goes on. It's part of being positive. Can you see how gratitude and positivity, they work together to get you what you want? So that's why we cover that in module 7. And it's how to use gratitude to work with your brain, and how to use gratitude to work with your success. And module 8, by module 8, the foundations are down, and you're about to start building on the foundations. And here we go. Module 8 is the turning point. It's the major movement in your life. Now, future investment in the certain way to wealth will be $897, and that may not include a lot of the workshops, but you're very special. So the special for this webinar, a $50 discount. But don't leave, it gets better. I'm going to offer the Certain Way to Wealth with all the training, private mentoring for $147 US. I don't think I'll ever do that again. I'm sort of excited about it, and I just want to have people do this program and feel so committed. So you have to promise me that if you do this program, you're going to really make it work for you, because I'm going to be in, you can hear what I'm like, and I will tell you the truth, and I'm a bit of, what's the word, tough love. So if you do this, you've got to value this price and tell me that you're going to work on it. You're going to really put the effort in. Now, I've put some links down there. I mean, I'm looking at it now, I'm thinking I'm a bit crazy, but it is the best price. There's no way in the world that there'll be any program that comes even close to $147 US. Oh, and I might add, there's a 30-day, 100% guarantee. So you have the program for 30 days. You don't need a reason. You just come to me and you just send me an email, and you just say, I don't want to do the program anymore. I'd appreciate it if you did give me a reason, just because I'd be really disappointed. But there'll be no argument. I mean, it's not something that it's 100% 30-day guarantee. So the value in all, now the value in this program, I've worked out, and I think I'm being generous, that the value is about $5,000 odd, because in the $5,000 I've got, there's 16 training videos. Well, that's got to be worth $1,000. I've worked it out at $1,072. There's the action step included in that, the action steps and the cheat sheets, the trainings, the transcripts of all the videos, the members only private Facebook group. Now I might add, I'm in that page I will be there all the time, or not all the time, but you know what I mean, certainly once a day. I can be working with you as you're going through the foundation training modules. And then, of course, once you've done those modules, then we'll start the online workshops. Now, with the online mentoring, look, I valued that at $3,000, but honestly, you know, I mean, it is priceless, really. It's a real time commitment for me, but I'm thrilled to be doing it. So there we go. So here's what will happen next. When you click that link, it will take you to an order page. And then the final step is, once you've done that, you will receive a thank you page immediately with the link to the page that will take you to the members site. So you could be in just a few minutes with no risk, because you've got it for 30 days, right? 100% guarantee. You are up and running. What a wonderful thing it would be for you to be up and running with all this impetus and all this enthusiasm. You would be up and running, and that could be the best year of your life. So there we go. There's the Certain Way to Wealth program. There's the email address for any questions, and Karina is waiting for those. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you did. It's great of you to come. I'm so thrilled that so many of you are still here. That's fabulous, and I'm really glad. And thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, Karina. And do we have any questions?
Give me a second to check.
Karina, I just might pop this one in. Okay, there's a question on how long will it take me to go through the foundation modules. Well, you know, it's really hard. It's really hard to answer that, because if you do 2 modules a week and you act upon it, because let's face it, there's no value to them unless you do act upon it. So if you act upon them, you could probably, you'd probably get good value from doing that. You have this program for life, so you can always come back to it later. And that's why I think sometimes something happens to you and you think, oh, I remember in module 3, I'll go and do module 3 again, you know, so it's something you can come back to later on. Yeah, Karina, anything on your end there? Oh, that's okay. Do you get immediate? Yeah, of course, absolutely, immediately. It literally happens within minutes. Everything is set up on the membership page. You have a private login. You'll get that with the thank you after the credit card details are through, and you go in right away. Again, I'd like to thank everyone for being here. I'm looking forward to seeing, oh, okay. I just saw someone come through. So Jim, I'm really looking forward to having you to mentor, because you're in the first 10. Gee, you did well. You were quick. Thank you very much. I look forward to working with you. Okay, so to everyone, US guys, have a great night, and thank you for coming. Aussies, we'll all get back to work. Thank you again. It's been great to be here. And thank you for making my webinar a joy, and a special thanks to Karina. Thanks, mate. See you later. Bye.